Hey guys, what is up? This is Nick from DaveTraining.com. Hope you guys are having a solid week. Want to break down with you, some stuff that you can expect or some stuff that's pretty common when you get down to 10% body fat. Just like some structural stuff and then, stuff, just some basic stuff that you can expect when you make this change. If you are really hammering hard on your nutrition, if you're really getting your workouts in and you actually do get down to this percent body fat, you probably have focused also probably a good bit on your muscle gains, so you're probably looking pretty solid at this point. So let's kind of go into it about what are some things that happens when you get down to that level, or when you get, down to 10% body fat, when you get to that level, and maybe some stuff that you won't necessarily expect when you first start. So the first thing is that I didn't really see coming, and that I've seen other guys who are naturals. Again, in this video, I'm talking to naturals. I'm not talking to people who are taking other performance-enhancing medications, just to get that out of the way. But pretty much, if you are completely natural, you can still be like, you can still look ripped and have muscle and all that jazz, but you're gonna look pretty small in clothes. Again, like when you are down to that percentage of body fat, you are not going to look super muscular, especially when you're in clothes. You're going to look lean. People might think that you're a pretty lean guy, but if you have clothes on, they're not necessarily going to ping you as like, hey, that guy's a bodybuilder. That guy or girl is like a bodybuilder. They got some serious muscle on them. They're not going to look at you that way. Most of the time. Now, if you go onto a beach setting or a place where you can take your shirt off, people can see that you've got some muscle on you, and which is pretty great, because you'll probably get some compliments on that. But people are not immediately going to see that when it's under clothes. They might see that under. Now, ironically, the weird thing about that is when you do have your shirt off, when you are showing your muscles, you actually look bigger. It's the weirdest thing ever. You actually look bigger in pictures and, in like, when you got your shirt off than when you did when you were 15. It's something about the muscle definition and the fact of that, people just kind of associate muscles with big. That I've kind of noticed that, when you actually have your shirt off, people are going to think like, hey man, like, hey, you gained size, which isn't necessarily, true, because you actually just reduced fat. You have a lower body fat count, but people they see muscles, they see definition, they see lean muscles, and they think, muscular. So that's honestly pretty nice. Also, the next thing, which has to do with your psychology around this kind of stuff, is when you actually get down to that, you are gonna have to work on actually maintaining that. For a lot of people, they want to get ripped. They want to get down to like 10% body fat, which is a fantastic goal. And the next step to that is to focus on maintaining, and not just maintaining at that point, but first kind of taking an accurate look at where you're at and seeing if you want to continue that kind of lifestyle. It's not for everybody, but for people who do, they need to seriously take a look at their diet, their lifestyle, and say, okay, how can I maintain this? It's the beginning always sucks, and when you actually, and then you get some momentum behind you, and it's easier to maintain, but it gets pretty boring after a while. So what worked for me and worked for a lot of other people, and I particularly talked to guys who have gone down to that kind of weight, was they had to pick a different kind of goal. They had to pick the next thing, something that would excite them, because once they got the body fat percentage handled, the next thing typically that I see people, primarily guys, choose is they want to get some serious muscle on them. They want to start growing their muscle growth, which adds a whole other host of problems, especially for the 10% body fat, but we're not going to go into that, particularly on this video. But, when you get to your actual goal, you're going to realize that you either got to go somewhere else with it to maintain it, or you've really got to, take stock of like, hey, do I actually want to stay here? So that's something that someone didn't realize. I mean, I definitely am the type of guy who always needs a goal, something to work for, and something to always go for. So, I kind of had to pivot. I pivoted into muscle gain, and kind of nutrition optimization, for me at least. And so, that's not necessarily something that people expect. When they expect to reach their goal, they expect to just kind of be done, and that's not really the case. You always need to be learning, you always need to be improving, again, maintain but do not plateau. And so, it can be kind of daunting when they kind of realize, okay, like I reached like this really big fitness goal, but where do I go from here? Which some people don't expect. Okay, guys, and also, lastly, what I saw and what I've talked with a couple people about is they get a huge energy boost, especially when, typically what you need to get down to that level of body fat is you need to have your diet on point and you need to have your workouts on point. And what I found is that my sleep got better, my, obviously like my diet got better, but that carried over into other areas of my life, like my focus got better. My work output got better. I was able to get a lot more done. I was able to really crush my workouts. I just felt better throughout the entire day. And that was pretty great. That was a pretty nice side effect. And I saw like inklings of that when I was really getting fit, but it really hit me like a ton of bricks just how succinct I was with my body when I was at that percentage of body fat. Just how I just felt better. Like I felt more confident, I felt more focused. It just clicked. And socially, not only did I get more compliments on my physique, but that confidence behind that really kind of it really was almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy after a while. Like honestly, I felt more confident, and that just made my workouts better, my lifts got better, my diet got better. And so it all kind of, the momentum behind it definitely started feeding into itself, which was nice. You can definitely kind of use that psychology to your advantage if you want to. And I definitely suggest that, picking out those psychological patterns and using them to your advantage, because that ultimately is going to help cement that fit identity, but it's also going to help you. Momentum's a beautiful thing if you are moving in the right direction. All right, guys, that's it. If you want help with this kind of stuff, reach out to me at nick@navetraining.com. Would love to work with you if you're serious about this stuff. We'll take a look at your fitness, nutrition, and mindset, and ultimately make a roadmap to get this kind of stuff handled. Like seriously, guys, like you can chop a lot of time off of this learning curve if you have a coach behind you who's pushing you, keeping you accountable, and supporting you the entire way. Again, would love to work with you if you're actually serious about this kind of stuff. So again, that's nick@navetraining.com, or you can check out the website navetraining.com. All right, guys, signing off for today. You guys have a great week and get after it. Bye.